Good evening. My name is David Ellison, and I'm running on the Green Party ballot line for county executive. It's a historic election for Ohio. It's the first time in history that the Green Party has been allowed on the ballot. For your all's information, the Green Party is a value-based party on ecology, social justice, basic democracy, and nonviolence. The Democrats and Republicans have kept us off the ballot since probably the Red Scare and the prohibition against alternative points of view. I think it's cost us an awful lot to have that kind of absence in our government, and I'm pleased that the federal courts chose to strike down the unconstitutional laws that have kept us out of the process. As a minority party, we're kind of used to being excluded, and I'm very happy and thankful to be included tonight. In fact, the Green Party's decision-making process in general tries to be very inclusive. We tend to sit in circles. We tend to create windows of silence into which thinking can happen and into which new ideas can emerge into the meeting. We try to come to agreement on our decisions without voting, by incorporating various ideas into the overall decision rather than limiting the kind of decisions that a more rigid decision-making process would take place. I propose to you that you all know me better than you might think. When I didn't actually vote for issue 6, and I don't really like the structure because I think we could have done a lot better. We were on the sidewalks out in front of the Ameritrust building complaining that the county commissioners had bought this building and were planning to tear it down for tens of millions of dollars to create an empty lot in the city of Cleveland. When they passed the tax to pay for the medical mart, we were there the next day with petitions on the street to try to bring that vote to the people. When I looked at issue 6 and the structure of the county the new county government, as a citizen activist, I couldn't figure out the way to fight City Hall in this proposed structure, except, actually it's not even proposed anymore, it's the one we've got, isn't it? I couldn't figure out how to fight City Hall except to run for this office and to try to make changes if elected. I think what I've learned in being a candidate here tonight is that rather than electing people in a balkanized, districted county like we've done, it would have been much better to have at-large representatives. When you,
Mr. Ellison, I want to bring us back to the question that the board has really made very, very clear that they want us to focus in on how we plan to work with municipalities.
I'm getting to that. Because what we share collectively is so much greater than what we represent individually. And I propose that this is how we might work together in a collaborative relationship that isn't dependent on single leadership. The county government, the new council, it's a legislative body. It's going to bump right up against your all's legislative authority, and we're going to have a fight between the authority of the council and the authority of the various municipalities. And I'd like to make that a process of where we can come to agreement on where we can work together successfully to address the problems of this region. The structure certainly isn't set up to do that. But I think that the kind of leadership that I can provide, I'm an architect as a professional. When we come to a problem, we analyze the solution, the demands of the client, of the engineers, of the consultants, of the governmental regulations. We put all of that on the table and prepare a design that meets all of those needs of all of those players or participants in the project so that we have an agreement on a plan that we're going to build. Then we go about finding the contractors and writing the specifications and preparing the contract documents that we agree on is what we want. And then we monitor those contractors, monitor the budgets, and get a project built at the end. I think this is the kind of thing we need to do in the approach of how we go about dealing with things that we can do together as a group of disparate municipal governments and the county. For instance, the flooding on the way down here today was pretty bad. We should be able to cooperate on sewer and water districts, yet 12 cities in this county have sued the water district to prevent us from dealing with stormwater runoff. We need to work together to solve these kinds of environmental and economic development and educational problems in our county. Thank you very much for having us here.